Value. A job title does not convey value. It is reflected in the talents, intuition, experiences, and relationships you have developed throughout time. The challenge following redundancy is realizing that value does not evaporate simply because a role does. Imagine yourself outside of your previous workplace. What remains is truly yours. Every process you managed, every customer you reassured, every system you enhanced, every colleague you coached, and every deadline you met. Workers throughout the UK frequently underestimate the breadth of their own skill because they are accustomed to circumstances that minimize it. Redundancy reveals the gap. It shows you what you've done well, what you can still do, and what you've been missing. Value grows in the places where you've held responsibility, especially in situations that felt demanding or draining. Those are the moments that built the emotional stamina employers are desperate for. They also shape the transferable strengths that open new opportunities in places you haven't yet imagined. Confidence often takes a hit during redundancy, not because you are suddenly less skilled, but because uncertainty can cloud the mind. You may even start doubting simple things you once handled with ease. That is when it becomes important to separate the event from your identity. Redundancy is a decision made by a business under pressure, not a judgment of your worth as a worker or as a person. Your value isn't determined by the role you lost, it is determined by the capability you still carry. Rebuilding your sense of worth begins with taking stock of your successes. Review prior projects and tasks. Take note of instances where you demonstrated leadership without having a title. Consider where you solved difficulties that others avoided. Take note of the jobs that others trusted you with, even if you were unaware of it. These hidden signals show strengths you may have overlooked since they seemed natural to you. They weren't typical. They were valuable. Your versatility demonstrates value as well. Redundancy forces you into a season in which resilience becomes practical rather than intellectual. You start strengthening emotional muscles you didn't realize you possessed. You learn to make quick decisions. You learn to look ahead, even when the present seems dubious. You learn to reach out for help, which in itself is a sign of maturity. All of these things create depth that future employers will notice the moment they meet you. One of the most empowering things you can do after redundancy is practice telling the story of your value. The way you speak about yourself shapes the way opportunities respond to you. Instead of presenting yourself as someone recovering from job loss, frame yourself as someone repositioning. Talk about what you built, what you improved, and what you carried in your previous role. Talk about how redundancy has sharpened your hunger for meaningful work. Talk about where you want to grow next.